Hello. So today I'm about to send a march for the Alliance Duel, and there's been some questions in my alliance about layering, and so I just wanted to give some basics about layering and the kind of march that you want to send to something like Alliance Duel. So generally when I'm going to do that, I'm going to set a preset for it. It's because I generally send whatever I use for battles. I send the same kind of march for Alliance Duel. For Alliance Duel, I've done a video about the analyzing Alliance Duel results, and from that you can see that a lot of people will just send their monster killing march, which is just like their best full march of mounted troops like M13s or M14s, and that's it. And when you're fighting monsters, that's great. When you're doing PvP, it is not great at all. Because for PvP, a lot of the results come from layers of troops. And I'll show you what that means. I can go here to my rally spot and go to my March presets. I'll just go to my one here. So for, you want to take your best generals that you would use for whatever kind of troops you're going to send. So I'm going to send archers, and so I have, where did my, oh, there's Merlin. So I'm going to send Godfrey and Merlin, because Godfrey's main ability is boosting ranged, and Merlin is the same way. He has ranged boosts. So those are what I want to be sending. I'll go ahead and use the military tactics for the arrows. I'll just go ahead and select all my subs. Okay, so when you have all your troops in here, they're all listed here. You can go all the way down to the bottom. Reset just to get the one troop out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go from the bottom, and I'm just going to put 999 for each of them. Whoops. A lot of people do 1,000. To me, 1,000 means you're moving your fingers. Just 999, to me, it's just faster to do it, and so that's why I do it. And that's all I'm going to do is just going to keep, for every single layer, 999, 999, 999. And so what this means is, first of all, you have to make sure that you actually have those troops trained. And so if you haven't trained lower level troops for everything, that's the first step. I have those, so I don't need to do that. But like if you're missing, the mounted level 5 troops, go ahead and train 1,000 of them, or train 999 of them, because they are going to matter. And so the way that PvP combat is very complicated, and I don't pretend to be an expert in it. But one thing I do know is that having layers always seems to result in better results than no layers at all. Because what's going to happen is it's going to match up your top level troops with your opponent's top level troops, and they'll exchange blows. And then it's going to go, okay, the next level troops. And if you don't have the next level troops, then your opponent's next level troops are going to do damage to you, and you're not going to do anything back to them. And it's going to keep doing that until all the layers of the troops are done, and then it'll go back and cycle to the beginning again. And so what that means is that all these little troops, even if they're not doing a lot of damage, they're absorbing hits and doing damage that the marches with only a single layer aren't going to be able to handle. Oops. And so that's basically why you want to have them. And just when somebody says set layers, it just means go through and make sure that every single one of your troops here has somebody in it. Like I said, it depends on your march size. When I was smaller, I only put, say, 555 in each layer. And it's going to lower, like if you look at your power, it's going to lower your overall power as opposed to if you just put all of your march being high level troops. But the total power doesn't really matter as much in the PvP. Having the layers at the very least is what matters. And so once I do that, then, since I'm having a ranged march, I'm going to go ahead and put in my ranged guys. And so with the ranged troops, I've noticed sometimes, and I only have up to 13s. Sometimes the 12s do better than the 13s. And I, like I said, I don't pretend to know exactly what is best. And I'm not trying to say this is how you should do a march. I'm just trying to explain the layers themselves. So, sometimes I'll just make, even though I have enough M13s to kind of almost fill it out, I'll put some, mostly M13s, but then a lot of M12s as well. Sometimes you can go down to or R11s and add those if you want. Like I said, I'm not an expert in it. I don't pretend to know exactly what's best, but I do know that I get the best results when I have 999 of each layer. And the way you can tell if you have them, so like if you look and you see 4 1s there, and you have 4 2s there, you have 4 3s there, and if you're missing any of them, then that means that you haven't trained that level yet. And so go ahead and do the training for that. And then, so once I have that, I can go ahead and save that preset. And I can go ahead and go to the Alliance Duel and sign up. I'll often look to see which line looks like it could use somebody. So this one only has 347,000 power. It's only got like one big march there. This one has 3 big marches. This one has 2. So let me see what Patrick is sending. So he's got a ranged troop also. One thing you don't want to do in Alliance Duel, you don't generally want to stack all of the same types of troops up at the top, because, if we have, say, 3 ranged troops in a row and they send a big ground troop, it could just rip through R3 and that would be that. And then they'd be able to use the rest of theirs to feast on the smaller marches. But in this case, having 2 in a row isn't so bad. So I'm going to just go ahead and go to the right line, send troops. Oh, I thought I saved. Apparently it didn't save my... Oh, you know what? When you change the military tactics, I've realized that sometimes it'll erase whoever you would put in as your generals. So I think that's what happened. But here I can look, and so it has all that there. I can just go ahead and send that march, and it's good to go. And so that's all that there is about layers. When somebody says, make sure you send layers, that's it. It's just going to the bottom. Like I said, looking at, all the different troops and just making sure you have a layer of each one. And you can see here, you can tell it's layered because it had the same number of troops for everything except for the troop that I care about, the troop type that I care about. Okay, so good luck in your next Alliance Duel or Battle or SVS or whatever you're doing PvP in. All right, thanks. Bye.